Welcome to the channel. Rarest coins. In today's video, we'll explore one of the most fascinating coins in American numismatics, the 1949 Lincoln penny. While most pennies are worth just 1 cent, this specific year's coin has an interesting history and, in certain cases, an incredible value. Believe it or not, a 1949 Lincoln penny could be worth up to $1.9 million. Stick around to learn more about its history, why some of these pennies are so valuable, and how you can spot one that might be worth a fortune. The history of the 1949 Lincoln penny. The Lincoln penny has been an iconic part of American currency since its debut in 1909, and by 1949, it had already been in circulation for 4 decades. The design of the coin, which features the image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, had remained the same since 1909, except for a change to the reverse side in 1959, when the wheat stalks were replaced with the Lincoln Memorial. The 1949 Lincoln penny still features the wheat reverse, which is why it's sometimes called the wheat penny. By 1949, the United States had been recovering from the effects of World War II, and the economy was experiencing significant growth. The U.S. Mint continued to produce large quantities of pennies in 1949, which were used in everyday transactions across the country. The Denver Mint, in particular, was busy churning out millions of pennies, marked with the D Mint mark. But not all 1949 Lincoln pennies are the same. Some of these coins have a rare and unique characteristic that makes them highly sought after by collectors and can make them worth an unbelievable amount of money. The 1949 Lincoln penny error. While the 1949 Lincoln penny is generally considered a common coin, certain examples were minted with a significant error. This error is known as the 1949 double-die obverse, and it's one of the most valuable and sought-after varieties of the Lincoln penny series. The double-die error occurs when a coin die is mistakenly struck more than once, or when the die is misaligned during the minting process. This results in a doubling effect on the design elements of the coin. For the 1949 double-die obverse penny, the doubling can often be seen on the date 1949 and the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." The doubling effect can range from subtle to quite noticeable, depending on the severity of the minting error. This error is particularly important for collectors because it's a sign of a mistake made during production, and error coins like this are rare, especially when they're in good condition. If you're lucky enough to find a 1949 Lincoln penny with the double-die error, you could be holding a coin worth a significant amount of money. Why some 1949 Lincoln pennies are worth $1.9 million. So, why is a 1949 Lincoln penny worth up to $1.9 million? The answer lies in the rarity and condition of the coin. While the majority of 1949 pennies are worth just 1 cent, a 1949 Lincoln penny with a double-die error in high-grade condition can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. In fact, one of these rare pennies, in perfect condition, was sold at auction for an astounding $1.9 million. Why such a high price for a penny? The rarity of the 1949 double-die obverse penny is the main factor driving its price. Only a small number of these coins were struck with the error, and even fewer have survived in excellent condition. Coins like this are highly sought after by collectors who are willing to pay top dollar for a piece of history that's also a rare mistake. This unique combination of rarity and historical significance is what makes the 1949 Lincoln penny so valuable. It's a reminder that even the most mundane coins can turn into treasures if they have an error that makes them stand out from the rest. How to identify a valuable 1949 Lincoln penny. If you think you might have a 1949 Lincoln penny with the double-die error, here's how you can identify it. 1. Examine the date. The most obvious sign of the double-die error is the 1949 date on the coin. If you look closely, you might notice that the numbers appear to be doubled, with a shadow or extra outline next to them. This is the key indicator of the double-die error. 2. Inspect the word Liberty. Another place where you can often see doubling is on the word Liberty above Lincoln's head. The doubling will appear as a shadow next to the letters, and sometimes the effect can be quite dramatic. 3. Check "In God We Trust." This phrase is another area where doubling may occur. Similar to Liberty, The letters in this phrase may appear to have an extra outline, especially on the int. 4. Use magnification. The doubling effect can sometimes be subtle, so it's important to use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to get a closer look at the details. Magnification will allow you to spot the error more easily, especially on coins that may not have an obvious doubling visible to the naked eye. 5. Assess the condition. The condition of the coin is just as important as the error itself. Coins that are in excellent condition, with little wear and minimal scratches, are far more valuable than those in poor condition. Look for signs of wear or discoloration, and consider getting the coin professionally graded if you think it might be a high-grade example. How much is your 1949 Lincoln penny worth? Now, you're probably wondering just how much your 1949 Lincoln penny might be worth. If you've found one with the double die error and it's in good condition, you could be looking at a value anywhere from several hundred to several $1,000s. However, if your coin is in near mint condition with sharp doubling, it could be worth tens of thousands or more. In some rare cases, like the $1.9 million sale, you could be sitting on a true numismatic treasure. To get an accurate value for your 1949 Lincoln penny, it's a good idea to have it professionally graded by reputable service such as PCGS or NGC. These grading services will assess the coin's condition, confirm whether it's a double die error, and assign it a grade that will help determine its market value. Conclusion: the 1949 Lincoln penny is a prime example of how a small mistake during the minting process can lead to a coin becoming incredibly valuable. While most of these pennies are not worth much, those with the rare double die error can fetch eye-popping prices, sometimes as high as $1.9 million. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, it's worth checking your 1949 pennies to see if you might have one of those rare error coins. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content about rare coins and their incredible stories. We'll be back with more information on how to spot valuable coins and dive deeper into the world of numismatics. Outro. Do you have any 1949 Lincoln pennies in your collection? Have you found a double die error? Share your experiences with us in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, happy collecting special coins. Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. Today, we're diving into a fascinating and rare coin that's worth far more than its face value. If you've ever come across a 1968 Lincoln penny, you might want to take a closer look because some of these pennies have been sold for unbelievable prices, with one recently fetching an incredible $1.7 million. Yes, you heard that right. A penny, minted in 1968, sold for over $1 million. How is this possible? What makes this particular coin so valuable? Stick around as we explore the history, rarity, and potential fortune behind the 1968 F Lincoln penny. To understand what makes the 1968 F Lincoln penny so valuable, it's important to first take a look at the history of the Lincoln penny itself. The Lincoln penny was introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln on the 100th anniversary of his birth. The design, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, has remained largely unchanged for over a century. The obverse, front, of the coin features Lincoln's portrait, while the reverse originally showcased 2 ears of wheat. In 1959, however, the reverse was redesigned to feature the Lincoln Memorial, marking the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. From 1909 until 1982, Lincoln pennies were primarily made of copper, though they were later shifted to a copper-plated zinc composition. The 1968 penny is a copper-based coin, with the iconic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. It was minted in large numbers and, like most pennies, was considered a common, low-value coin. However, as with any series of coins, certain rare or error versions stand out, and that's where the 1968 F penny comes into play. The standard 1968 Lincoln penny, produced in massive quantities, is worth only 1 cent in everyday transactions. However, there's a very special version of the 1968 penny that has become a collector's dream. This version is marked with an F mint mark. The F is actually a misinterpretation by some collectors who believed that an F mint mark existed, which caused confusion and led to the coin being categorized as a rarity among collectors. While no F mint mark was officially issued in 1968, some extremely rare 1968 pennies display a slight die error, giving the impression that they have an F mint mark. This error caused the coin to be labeled as a 1968 F penny. However, this F mint mark is not to authenticate. It's a minting anomaly that resulted in some coins being accidentally misidentified. These coins are highly sought after by collectors who are aware of the rarity and history behind them. The value of the 1968 F penny is mainly driven by its rarity and its status as a highly desired error coin in the world of numismatics. The misinterpretation of the mint mark, combined with the coin's age, makes this penny particularly valuable to serious collectors. So, how valuable can the 1968 F Lincoln penny be? In a truly astonishing turn of events, a specific 1968 F Lincoln penny sold for an incredible $1.7 million. This particular coin had been carefully preserved, and its rarity and unique characteristics made it a highly sought-after item in the numismatic world. Despite its original face value of just 1 cent, the coin's status as a rare error made it worth far more. The penny that fetched $1.7 million was graded and authenticated by professional numismatists, who confirmed its rarity and unique error. The coin had been preserved in exceptional condition, further enhancing its value. The high price tag highlights just how much collectors are willing to pay for rare and historically significant coins, even ones that were originally minted in vast numbers. The sale of this penny at such a high price point also serves as a reminder of the importance of coin condition, rarity, and historical context in determining a coin's value. While not every 1968 F penny will be worth millions, this particular one set the record for the highest sale of a coin from this series. If you think you've found a 1968 F Lincoln penny, here's how to identify it. 1. Look for the mint mark. The first step is to check the mint mark. A typical 1968 Lincoln penny will either have a D, for Denver Mint, or no mint mark at all, as the 1968 pennies from Philadelphia were not marked with the mint mark. If you come across a coin that looks like it has an F mint mark, you might have an error coin. This is the key feature of the 1968 F penny that makes it so rare. 2. Examine the coin for die errors. The F mint mark on the 1968 penny is the result of a die error, which caused the impression of an F to appear on the coin. While not every 1968 penny will have this feature, if you find one that has a faint or unusual mint mark, it's worth investigating further. 3. Check the condition of the coin. The condition of the coin plays a significant role in determining its value. Coins that are well preserved and show minimal wear and tear will always be worth more than coins that have been heavily circulated. A 1968 F penny in pristine condition can command a significantly higher price than a worn one. 4. Get the coin graded. Once you've identified a potential 1968 F penny, it's important to have it professionally graded by a trusted coin grading service like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or a professional coin grading service, PCGS. Grading ensures the coin's authenticity and gives it a value based on its condition. The value of the 1968 F Lincoln penny stems from several factors. First, the coin is extremely rare due to the minting error that caused the mistaken F mint mark. Second, its age adds to its appeal. Pennies from the 1960s and earlier are highly sought after, and the 1968 F is one of the more unique and desirable varieties. Third, the 1968 F penny is valued by collectors because of its story. Coin collecting isn't just about the coins themselves, but also about the history and rarity behind them. The mistaken mint mark and the subsequent confusion about its origin make the 1968 Lincoln penny a fascinating piece of numismatic history. As with any collectible, rarity and story are huge contributors to a coin's value. Lastly, coins in excellent condition fetch the highest prices. The 1968 penny that sold for $1.7 million was in near-perfect condition, and its rarity made it even more valuable. This highlights the importance of preserving your coins and keeping them in as good a shape as possible. If you believe you've found a rare 1968 Lincoln penny, and it has been graded and authenticated, you may be wondering how to sell it. Here are a few tips. 1. Get it graded and authenticated. Before selling, have your coin professionally graded and authenticated. This will ensure you get the right price and will protect you from selling a coin that may not be as valuable as you thought. 2. Consider selling through an auction house. Auction houses that specialize in rare coins are a great way to sell high-value coins. These auction houses attract collectors from all over the world and can help you get top dollar for your rare 1968 penny. 3. Consult with experts. If you're unsure of the value of your coin, it's always a good idea to consult with a numismatic expert or trusted coin dealer. They can offer guidance on how to sell your coin and help ensure you get the best possible price. So, there you have it, the 1968 Lincoln penny, a coin that, at first glance, might seem like just another penny, but in reality, is a rare and highly valuable collector's item. From the rare error that caused the mistaken mint mark to the incredible $1.7 million sale, this penny is proof that sometimes, the smallest things can hold the greatest value. If you ever come across a 1968 penny, take a closer look. You never know if you might be holding $1 million treasure. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss any future content. Have you ever found a rare coin? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. Until next time, happy collecting. Outro. Welcome to the channel. Today, we're diving into the history and potential value of a seemingly ordinary coin, the 1994 Lincoln penny. At first glance, this penny might look like just another piece of pocket change, but some 1994 Lincoln pennies are worth a lot more than just 1 cent. In fact, certain versions of this penny could be worth up to $1.2 million. Stick around to find out how and why the 1994 Lincoln penny is so valuable and what you should look for if you think you have one of these rare coins. The history of the 1994 Lincoln penny. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Over the years, the design of the penny has changed a few times, but the general design has remained a constant, with Lincoln's portrait on the front and various designs on the back. By 1994, the design had shifted from the original wheat reverse to the Lincoln Memorial reverse, which had been in use since 1959. The 1994 penny, minted by the U.S. Mint in both Philadelphia and Denver, features the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side and Lincoln's bust on the obverse. This particular design was used until 2008, when it was replaced by a new reverse design as part of a series of changes to honor the bicentennial of Lincoln's birth. While most 1994 pennies are not worth much beyond their face value of 1 cent, a very specific error and variety from this year could make the coin incredibly valuable. The 1994 Lincoln penny with the rare error. As with many other U.S. coins, some 1994 Lincoln pennies were minted with errors that make them particularly valuable. The most famous error that occurred during the minting of these pennies is known as the 1994 double die obverse. This error happens when the die that strikes the coin is misaligned or overused, leading to a doubled image on the coin. In the case of the 1994 double die obverse penny, the doubling is most apparent on the word liberty and the phrase "In God We Trust," both of which appear to be slightly doubled or doubled in some places. The 1994 date on these coins may also show some noticeable doubling. This error occurs when the die strikes the plankett, the metal disc that becomes the coin, more than once, or in the wrong alignment, which results in visible doubling. These doubled images can be faint or quite pronounced, so it's important to inspect the coin carefully. Coins with this doubling error are rare and highly sought after by collectors. A coin with this type of error, especially in excellent condition, can be worth thousands of dollars, sometimes even up to $1.2 million, depending on its grade and other factors. Why some 1994 Lincoln pennies are worth $1.2 million. So, why is a 1994 penny, which would normally be worth just 1 cent, suddenly worth up to $1.2 million? The key factor here is rarity. While the 1994 Lincoln penny is a regular issue coin that was produced in the billions, the doubly struck errors are extremely rare. It's important to understand that only a small percentage of 1994 pennies were struck with this error, and only a few of them have survived in exceptional condition over the years. The value of these rare pennies is driven by the same principle that makes any rare collectible valuable: a scarcity. When there are only a few examples of an item, collectors and investors are willing to pay a premium for them. The 1994 double-die obverse penny is highly sought after because it represents an unusual mistake in the minting process, making it both historically significant and a highly desirable piece for coin collectors. In fact, one of these rare coins, in near-perfect condition, was sold at auction for a stunning $1.2 million. This sale proves that with the right combination of rarity, condition, and demand, even a penny can be worth a small fortune. How to spot a valuable 1994 Lincoln penny. Now, let's talk about how you can tell if you have one of these rare and valuable 1994 Lincoln pennies. Here's a step-by-step guide on how to identify the 1994 double-die obverse penny. 1. Examine the date and inscriptions. Look closely at the date 1994 and the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." If you see any doubling of those elements, it could indicate a double-die error. The doubling may appear as a shadow or extra outline around the letters and numbers. 2. Use magnification. If you can't see the doubling clearly with the naked eye, it's time to use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. This will allow you to get a closer look at the details and spot any subtle doubling that might be hard to notice otherwise. 3. Look for double shadows. The doubling typically creates a shadow effect, where the letters or numbers appear to have a duplicate shadow next to them. This is often most noticeable on the L in Liberty and the T in Trust. But don't forget to check the one in 1994 as well. 4. Check the coin's condition. Just like any collectible, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value. Coins that are in excellent condition, without wear and tear, will fetch higher prices. If your 1994 penny has little to no signs of wear, it could be worth significantly more. How much is your 1994 Lincoln penny worth? If you have a 1994 Lincoln penny with the double-die error, you might be wondering just how much it's worth. As mentioned, most 1994 pennies are worth only 1 cent, but coins with the double-die error can be worth a lot more, especially in high-grade condition. A coin in poor condition might only be worth a few $100s, but a well-preserved example of the 1994 double-die obverse penny can be worth thousands. The highest-priced examples, particularly those graded by professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC, can reach values as high as $1.2 million. However, these coins are extremely rare, and the majority of 1994 pennies with the double-die error will likely sell for several $1,000s, depending on their condition and market demand. If you believe you've found one of these valuable coins, it's worth having it professionally graded to determine its true value. Grading services like PCGS and NGC will evaluate the coin's condition and assign a grade, which can greatly impact its price. Conclusion: the 1994 Lincoln penny is a prime example of how a seemingly ordinary coin can turn into a valuable treasure when it's struck with a rare error. The 1994 double-die obverse penny is one of the most famous error coins in U.S. numismatic history, and its rarity and unique characteristics make it highly desirable to collectors and investors alike. If you think you might have one of these rare pennies, it's worth taking the time to inspect it carefully, and if you find the doubling error, You could be holding onto a coin that's worth much more than its face value. The 1994 Lincoln penny serves as a reminder that sometimes, a little mistake during the minting process can lead to a massive reward for collectors who are lucky enough to find it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more content about rare coins and their fascinating histories. See you in the next video. Outro. If you have a 1994 Lincoln penny in your collection, share your experience in the comments below. Have you spotted a double die error, or do you have any tips on finding rare coins? We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, happy collecting, YouTube.